YouTube, I'm back. Lenny's Fly, Road Warrior Training Compound here in Gilbert, Illinois. This has been your long-awaited part 3 of the part 4 series of TenShin Aikido RanDori. In this video, we're going to show you the other 2 Nagewaza that we use within the RanDori training. It's Nodotsukiage and Osae Nage. Some of you guys already know what Nodotsukiage is. Today I have Bob and Chris with me today to demonstrate with the video, so you'll be able to see a lot of the stuff that's going on. We're going to cut some stuff down so you guys can understand the inner workings of it and whatnot. We'll show some hand deflections that are going to be involved with the throws, but what you really want to focus on is the throwing aspect of Nodotsukiage and Osae Nage. There will be a part 4 coming up real soon. I know you guys have been waiting for this. This has been a year in the making. If you haven't noticed, Chris has been out of the loop for a while. Just to give you guys an idea where Chris has been, Chris is furthering his education with his passion, which is art. So he's back in college working on getting his degree with that to where he can do this for a living. And if you haven't seen any of Chris's artwork, check out his Facebook page at Chris Looper. He has a lot of that stuff posted. This guy's a phenomenal artist, absolutely amazing. So we were lucky enough to have him come up for this weekend. Obviously because of Thanksgiving, and we decided to film part 3 of the RanDori. So with that being said, we're going to get started. So hey, onegaishimasu. So Nodotsukiage and Osae Nage, how you guys? Basically, RanDori is worked off of a 2-hand grab. Okay, so just for them, I'm going to use Chris real quick. Nodotsukiage is a straight in movement. Okay, what you don't want to do is you don't want to fall back into this and try to do Nodotsukiage. And you cannot do Nodotsukiage from this throwing position. There isn't an ura version of this. It's straightforward and a molte. Notice how he's taking the ukemi from this? So if I added in my kokyu nage type of movement, sumiyatoshi, then Nodotsukiage is straightforward. And he takes the ukemi. Even smoother ukemi, you don't have to make them break fall each time, but make them take the roll. If you hold back on this, get jammed up, it's not going to be effective. You have to move right through him at that point. Okay? With Nodotsukiage. With Osae Nage, with Osae Nage, same thing. People might call this kokyu nage, they might call it something else. Osae Nage is cutting down on this hand. Whichever hand is to the outside, you're cutting down. It's not, if it's bad ukemi, it's not, drop that. It's not just that. Okay, you have to have honest attack. So Bob, if there's no attack and there's noodle, this is what happens. So you have to make sure that your honest attack is right on. So when that's on, you focus off of this. Okay? From here, this isn't a raw technique. A molte is going to be hard to do. It's going to be very hard to do. You want this to where it's an outside and it's to the rear. So Osae Nage again, cutting, moving through, cutting. And this is hard because when you're actually applying this technique, you're cutting down bicep, forearm, right in that spot. And it's hard, it's powerful. You can cut the wrist as well, but you just can't go blah and expect them to take ukemi. Remember, this is a training video for all you Aikidoka out there that want to better your RanDori, and all the TenShin guys out there that want to better their RanDori. That's why we're making this video. The attack is very important. The ukemi, extremely important. If your ukemi's off, everything else gets thrown off. So you have to have that solid, honest attack. You can't Frankenstein the guy or mummy the guy. You know, oh, you got to come in with that strong ukemi. You got to be aware of your surroundings. Because when you're doing this with 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, you got multiple attackers coming at you. And when you put all the videos together with your Te Sabaki, your hand deflections, your Osae Sabaki, your footwork, with kokyu nage, sumiyatoshi, now Osae Nage, Nodotsukiage, you're building a huge platform for RanDori. So now you could use any hand deflections that you want to get away from your attackers. If they're coming in too fast, you can't get off the throw, boom, here comes a hand deflection. Here comes a throw, turn, here comes another throw, here comes another throw. You know, you got to be able to incorporate that. It's almost kind of like a chess match of how you're going to deal with each opponent. The other thing too is, you want to be able to get your guys in line so you can handle them one at a time. So that old saying, get your ducks all in a row. Then start picking them apart one by one. If they're scattered all over the place, you're gonna find yourself just really under a lot of duress, and you're gonna get overwhelmed, and then eventually taken down on the ground pretty hard. Obviously, that's a whole nother video, the beat down RanDori. But with this video, focusing on the Nagewaza and the Osae Nage, you want to be able to blend this in. And don't pick one person for Nagewaza, one person for Osae Nage. That's what I'm doing right now. But when you're training with people, anything goes with either one. Maybe you can start off using one person for Osae Nage, one person for Osae Nage. That's up to you. And then switch. And then do a Nagewaza, which is a freestyle with your throwing technique. Okay? So one more time. So with Osae Nage, as he comes in, this is cutting hard right there at the bicep and forearm. You're cutting this hard. Okay? Then Chris comes up. Boom. Osae Nage. Nodotsukiage. Osae Nage. Whoop. Hand deflection. Hand deflection. Nodotsukiage. Boom. See how I added one more? Nodotsukiage. Okay? See how it gets botched up really quick? When they come at you quickly, you got to find that happy medium. I just made several mistakes in that video, within that training, because you have to be able to address. Notice I threw a hand deflection in, it failed. And this is a demonstration, that's what it is. So it goes to show you that if you're not on point, things happen. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a training experience, right? So you learn from your mistakes. Not a big deal. So again with this, you want to watch your ukes on where they're coming. And like I said, if someone's too close, you can't get off a throw, boom, incorporate a hand deflection. But for this video, try to stick with the throws. So as Chris comes in, Osae Nage, right? Nodotsukiage. Osae Nage. Nodotsukiage. Osae Nage. Nodotsukiage. That one was a little bit better. I wasn't as mobile as I normally am. I was staying in the middle. The one thing with RanDori that I didn't talk about in this video is that when you look at the symbols of Aikido, I'm winded too, man, it takes a lot out of you. You have the triangle, circle, and square. The triangle represents hand deflection. The circle, this is from what I've been told, the circle represents taking one's energy and using it against them. The square represents the RanDori. So you have the 4 points of the square, right? You're in the middle. The attackers are on the end. The idea is to get your attackers, your ukes, into the middle of the square, and you become the 4 points of the square. So you are on the outside of the box. That is the ultimate goal. So as you do that, so as I'm in the middle, and I cut Bob, cut Chris, cut Bob, cut Chris, cut Bob, cut Chris, cut Bob, cut Chris, cut Bob, cut Chris. Notice I'm staying to the outside of this, okay? You want to try to stay to the outside. If you caught when you're in the middle, Nagewaza is in a multi-technique. How am I going to do Osae Nage here? This is where a hand deflection would come into play. Chris would all be coming up. I might do a hand deflection. Osae Nage. Osae Nage. Nodotsukiage. Osae Nage. Nodotsukiage. Osae Nage. Osae Nage. Nodotsukiage. You want to stay to the outside. This video is not as fast as how we wanted it to be, but we figured it's better to show it more slow than high speed. So that's pretty much about it for this video. This is part 3 of a 4-part series of TenShin Aikido RanDori. Like, subscribe, hit that thumbs up button. Check us out on www.roguewarriortraining.com. Sign up for our online class on TenShin Aikido. We're going to be adding a lot of new stuff to the online store with basically the training platforms. We're planning on doing a 10 video or so or more of RanDori as an upgraded feature for the TenShin Aikido platform. Within that video, I'm going to give a lot more instruction on the deashi, seeing a beatdown RanDori within that platform, as well as adding historical RanDori footage from the last 17 years of TenShin Aikido training. So you're going to get a lot more RanDori stuff, not just training, but you're going to see some historic video from back in the day, from the last 2 dojos that I was at, that I operated out of with senior students that have obviously moved on with their lives. But we got a lot of great RanDori footage from back in the day that we're going to add. So with that being said, the Road Warrior channel, Lenny Sly, thank you to Chris Looper, hey, thank you to Bob Kamka, hey, we will see you on the next video. Peace out.